The special cargo plane carrying 8 cheetahs from Namibia lands at the Gwalior airport. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be releasing these big cats in Madhya Pradesh's Kuno National Park. Now, to go to the story, I have with me my reporter who's joining me live from Kuno National Park. Arun Dhanta joins us live from there. Arun, it's a big day today. What is the scene like around you?
Well, indeed, it's a very, very big day. World's fastest hunters, and after 75 years, when India declared this species distinct, cheetahs, 8 cheetahs will walk on the land of this country. And Prime Minister Modi is all set for releasing those cheetahs, which have already arrived here in India in Gwalior airport. And Prime Minister Modi will be reaching Gwalior at around 9:30, 9:45, and the timing, which we are told, is about 10:45 when Prime Minister Modi will be reaching the Kuno National Park. And the 8 cheetahs that have been brought from Namibia will be released by Prime Minister Modi. And remember that initially for 4 to 6 weeks, these cheetahs will be put under quarantine, and then only they will be released in the Kuno National Park. There have been a lot of things which has happened in the past before India and Namibia reached this conclusion, where they had a pact to send those cheetahs to India. In fact, in 2020, it was the Supreme Court of India which gave their go-ahead for this pilot project of cheetahs. And today is the day when they will be, walking in the National Kuno Park. Prime Minister Modi's birthday today. It's a very, very special day, and Prime Minister Modi is sending a very clear message that on his special day, on his birthday, when he is turning 72, he will be arriving here in Madhya Pradesh and sending a message that how important the environment and the wildlife protection for him, because Prime Minister Modi has been speaking on various occasions about the protection of environment and the wildlife protection. So this is something which is going to be very, very special, not only for Madhya Pradesh, because it will increase the tourism, the footfall of people in this area, but also as a country for India, because it's been more than 70 years since we had our last cheetah in the country. So it's a significant movement. Prime Minister Modi is sparing time out on his birthday to reach here in Madhya Pradesh, in Kuno National Park. And remember, he has around 2 programs in Gwalior here. One is that program of cheetahs, where he will be with the delegation releasing those cheetahs in the Kuno National Park, and then he will be speaking to the self-help group women. That is also very, very important, where thousands of women are expected to arrive, and Prime Minister Modi will also inaugurating few tribal projects for them as well. So very, very significant day. Prime Minister Modi has a very, very jam-packed schedule throughout the day, starting with his Kuno National Park visit, and then self-help group program here in Madhya Pradesh. Then he will be addressing ITI students, and in the end, around 5, he will be participating in that logistic program in Delhi. So very important day as far as Prime Minister is concerned, and of course the clear message being sent out by the Prime Minister Modi that for him what is important is the work, and therefore on his birthday, where people would be celebrating his birthday, he's here in Madhya Pradesh, spending time with the women, and also becoming part of this pilot project of cheetahs' arrival in the country. Back to you.
Well, Arun, you are at the Kuno National Park. It's going to be a long flight for the cheetahs from Namibia to India. Can you please tell us about them?
Well, of course, the distance between India and Namibia is around 8,500 kilometers, and the travel time, because it has come in a special chartered flight, It took them around 11 hours to reach Jaipur, and then Indian Air Force's helicopters brought them to Gwalior Airport. So at this moment, as we speak, they have arrived at Gwalior Airport, and in a short while from now, they'll be, brought in here in Kuno National Park. All the preparations are done, and remember that a special team who have been working with these cheetahs there in Namibia are also with them at this moment, and they will be spending time here till the time they are not released in the Kuno National Park, because they will be kept under observation, and they will be put under quarantine for 4 to 6 weeks, and then the monitoring will also take place. We are told that a GPS system will also be attached to them to keep keep an eye on them and to monitor their movements in Kuno National Park. And for them also, it is going to be very, very interesting that how they react in this atmosphere, because we had seen massive planning took place for this place to find out. The teams from Namibia had come here in the country. They visited different places in the country to find out the exact area where these cheetahs can survive, and then after a lot of discussions and visits, they found that the weather and the temperature and the other environmental things which is needed for those cheetahs to survival, which is in fact very much same to Namibia, is Kuno National Park. And therefore this decision was made, the pact was signed between both the countries. It is also a very positive message for the global community as well, that how countries can have such pacts where they can share such big cats with each other. So this is a message as well, and we'll have to see that how these cheetahs, which have already arrived in the country, will react once they are on the soil of the Kuno National Park. And it will also be a huge spectacle for the people who would want to come here to this Kuno National Park to see these distinct species which India declared in 1950. So it is very, very special day. None other than Prime Minister Modi himself, on his birthday, on a very special day, is coming here and releasing those cheetahs in the Kuno National Park.
Arun, you are at the Kuno National Park. It's still early hours. I know it's still a few hours before the program will begin. But if you could show us around what's happening around you, what is the kind of preparation that has been put in place for today's program?
Well, see, as far as Kuno National Park is concerned, there is not much access to media, and in fact it is somewhere deep in the forest. But of course I can show you some preparations which is a little far away from that place. You can see the massive security blanket around. Madhya Pradesh police personnel are present here, and of course VIPs and dignitaries are also expected here. So in fact, when you have Prime Minister Modi visiting to a certain place, SPG takes over, and that is the only reason why the access is not given to everyone to actually reach their Kuno National Parks. Perhaps once Prime Minister leaves the venue, we'll be able to show our viewers the inside details of the Kuno National Park, perhaps the glimpse of those cheetahs as well, which has been brought here from Namibia. But this is in fact a setup has been created by the police a little far away from Kuno National Park for the security checks, the VIPs and the media and other people who will be able to come here to see this program. Because remember, there's another program of Prime Minister Modi which is with the women self-help group, so that is also being organized in this area as well. So in terms of that, you can see these security preparations here, but of course it is going to be a big moment when these cheetahs will be released by Prime Minister Modi on the occasion of his birthday. Back to you.